All right, so there are a few necessities you're gonna want for this job. Number one, this guy right here, it's a magnetic tray. Boom, right there. All right, if the E-clip, and I caught some hate because I accidentally called it a C-clamp, and apparently that is unforgivable. And yes, I know what a C-clamp is. If your E-clip is toast, get this set. It's good to have around. I suggest you get it anyway. Anyone that wants to disagree with what they're called can eat crap. It's an E-clip. All right. And then you're gonna need a gasket for the main input shaft. This one is fine. It's an SAE size, so I also brought this out. I don't know what size it is. This is the SAE kit. All of these are from Harbor Freight. They're all cheap. All right, so go ahead, take that clip off. Go ahead and pull this. Now this is a new nut. I have not used it yet. It was just on there to make sure that it was the right size. And apparently it's aluminum. Yeah, cool. Yay, Amazon. So, go ahead and pop that E-clip off of there. All right, put it on there. Go ahead and take off the harness. Go ahead and pull this off. Go ahead and pull this guy off. All right. Pretty basic stuff. You can see there's a lot of play in there. That's because that hasn't been tightened down yet and it doesn't have the gasket in there. So that is also, there is steel on this, but this is an aluminum thing. So we're gonna go ahead and take this off. I'm gonna take these off. Now I've already gotten these off. So I just had it tacked on with two. I'm gonna use the most useful tool I didn't ever know that I needed, and I don't think I have enough extension on it. Damn it. Anyway, it's a Ryobi 3/8 drive cordless electric ratchet, and my gosh, I love this thing. Really didn't know what I was missing until I got it. It was on a flash sale at Direct Tools. Was it Direct Factory Outlet or Direct Tools Outlet? It's whatever. It's where Rigid and the other Ryobi, the parent company, I can't remember who it is, sells all their stuff that are factory refurbs or blemishes. And it was on sale, and I was like, it was like a Christmas sale, and I was like, this is whatever, I'll give it a shot, maybe I'll like it. Holy cow, I had no idea what I was missing. So if you see one on sale, scoop it up, man. It is so worth it. We're gonna take this off. So you can see all the stuff I was talking about in my previous video. You can actually see it in real life here. So here is that spring, and you can see it's just, it has no freaking compression at all. It's just, it's a weak spring. So that is why I am going to be putting in the actual spring. Now I'm going to cut this off and I'm going to install it. And I'm only going to come back once I've figured out how to install it, because I don't want to take 20 minutes doing this. So I'll be back and you'll see it installed. Hey, it worked first time. All right, that was my idea, was to use one of these little paint things, which I still cannot remember what they're called. Putty knife, my gosh. Okay, so I don't think I got the angle real great, but all you do is just put this on the detent lever here. You want to have something flat that you can push upward to get it in there. So that's exactly what I did, and it went in there super easy. Couldn't have been any easier. Took me like, I'm actually really glad I decided to go ahead and turn this sucker on, because I think it took me like 5 seconds to do it. So that is what we're gonna do. That's the best way that I suggest to do it, because otherwise, if you're going to try to put it in there with just your fingers, you can't get enough force on the bottom of it to compress it and then slide it in. But when you have something like this that helps you spread your force, it keeps it from sliding, and then you can just use your thumb to slide it in there. It goes in this little pocket right here. It's really very simple. This whole thing was easy. Let's go ahead and find the right size of gasket, and we'll put it on there. And I believe that it's a 1/2 inch by 11/16 by 33/32. So I believe that's the right one. I've used one before, and it's either that or it's the 9/16. So I'm going to get both of them out, and it'll be obvious which one it is. We'll go ahead and try to put this sucker on there, and I'm going to do the 9/16, and I'm glad I did, because no, actually that's too small or too big. Gotta be careful now that I've got this sucker in here, because I don't want this thing coming apart, because it will. This is the 1/2, and it's got a lot more, it's a lot tighter, but that's all right, because you want that, because it's actually going down in this groove. So once you get this sucker slid on here, just about like that, that should be good to go. Now we're gonna put this back together. I've already greased it just a little bit. That's all you need, is just a little bit of grease. My 2-year-old is helping me, so I appreciate her help. Thank you, sweetie. You're gonna go ahead and put this on here, and it's gonna be kind of hard to get on. So I'm gonna show you the trick that I did. Okay, we're gonna try this again. I screwed up the last time and forgot to RTV it. So here we go. Hopefully this is a better view. So take a putty knife, hold it in there with your finger. You're gonna wanna compress this sucker. Actually, I think the smaller one was easier. Smaller one was definitely easier. So we're gonna do this again. Same thing. Hold it like this. Yeah, and this smaller one is actually a lot easier because it doesn't flex as much. Way easier. Okay, so that's actually good to know for y'all. Use a smaller putty knife, stiffer. I think that'll give you a better result. Now we're gonna do a little bit of, we're gonna seal this sucker up. So I just clipped a little bit off the end. Gonna go ahead and puncture it. And I cleaned it off with a blue paper towel, kind of standard fare. We'll just go around this. Stuff is kind of a pain, but you know, it works. Make sure you have one continuous bead over the whole thing. Don't fill this hole here because that is an alignment hole. So we'll see how this holds up. Who knows, I might be here in 6 months doing the same thing again. So you've already seen how I installed it. We'll come back in a few. All right, so we got that on there, went on easily. And like I said, start with this one, and then I just do like I do on a tire. Just go corner to corner. I forgot that I had a extension that would work, so that's yay me. here we go. All right, so we are going to put this on first. Followed by the E-clip. And I forgot to bring out a pair of pliers, so I'm gonna hope that I can use this and pop it on there. And it did. Go ahead and hook this up. Now you're gonna need to put this guy on, right where we left it. Now we are going to put this guy on. Half, I think. Yep. I do not have a torque wrench on me. I went over the torque specs. Calibrated elbow, as we used to say in the Air Force. But 12 to 18 isn't much, just get a little bit snug. And it appears I'll be using another, it appears I'm going to be using another nut because that needs a washer that is not in my stash. So I'm going to kit this off. You get the gist. I'm going to go find a washer that'll fit it. And that's it though. We'll turn it on here in a little bit and see if it goes into neutral. But it should be good to go. All right, no stabilizer here, but this is it. Reverse, neutral, low, high. And unlike that wimpy spring that I had, my vehicle needs to be charged apparently. I think my sweet baby has been playing with the lights. So anyway, that is it. It is assembled, and there's plenty of give, or there's plenty of resistance now from having the right spring in there. So that's it. So I hope this helped out. I made a lot of trials and errors before I figured out the right way to do it. So I'm hoping that this will help you out to make sure to go through the manual portion that I went through first, and make sure to buy a manual. That's the big thing. Make absolutely sure to buy a manual.